Minnesota Vikings superstar wide receiver Justin freaking Jefferson is one of the best wide receivers in the game. But last 2 weeks, ain't no lie. Bye. The production has not been there. It's been gone. 6 catches for 48 yards on 12 targets. Darius Slay had 2 catches. Justin Jefferson had 6. And then against the Lions, double team, press, blanketed, all that stuff. 3 catches, 14 yards on 6 targets, which is not great. But it did open things up for KJ and Thielen and just whatever at this point. But I think it's more a blip. I think it's more of an anomaly. I think Jefferson will get back to where he wants to belong. And Rich Gannon, former Vikings draft pick out of Delaware, who, by the way, became league MVP. And Super Bowl participant, right? All right, so Rich Gannon of the 33rd team, which is a group that Spielman's a part of. I think Zimmer might still be there, although he's on Deion's staff now at Jackson State. Who knows? But Rich Gannon, he's got the bona fides to certainly weigh in on the situation. So the 33rd team, Justin Jefferson went off week 1, but since then, 62 yards, 9 receptions, 0 touchdowns. Rich Gannon on what's going on with the Viking star receiver. So they highlighted a couple plays, and then Gannon expanded upon what he thinks the Vikings could and should do to get Jefferson off the schneid. So the first play was what should have been holding on Darius Slay, but Gannon talked about when you really study the details of Justin Jefferson's game, he can be better at the top of the stamp, finishing at the top of the route, coming back, fighting back to the football. He's not doing a good enough job of that, which is fair. And yes, on that specific play, Darius Slay was holding. He's a veteran, got away with it, sneaky, all that stuff. But Jefferson does need to be stronger at the stem, does need to fight back for the football, does need to just be that guy as opposed to just sitting back and just really coming back to it, just really like Mike Evans. Well, maybe Mike Evans is a bad example because he's only fighting Marshawn Lattimore, but just being stronger at what Gannon was calling the stamp, at the top of the stem, at the top of the route, etc. And then they highlighted the fighting across the face on the post route, which JJ admitted where, yes, Darius Slay's first interception to Kirk Cousins, it was just as much on Jefferson as it was on Cousins, but Darius Slay knew that the post route was coming, sat on it, and Jefferson, he's got to fight across the face, even if you risk maybe some OPI in that spot. But it was just an easy duck of an interception where Jefferson should have been fighting through that traffic a little bit more. And then they highlighted Jefferson got off of press coverage against the Lions, which kind of tough, man. Where even though Jefferson was doubled on basically every play except for 8 or 9, but Jefferson struggling to get off press man coverage, Gannon talked about here, which was a concern about him coming out of the draft. But Kevin O'Connell needs to move him around, get him away from that press coverage. And I mean, Okudah just did a really good job here. There's a reason why he was the number 3 overall pick in the draft. And then Gannon went on and talked about 3 reasons why Jefferson could have been struggling. Number 1, Cousins hasn't been great throughout most of the last 2 games, except for later on against the Lions. Number 2, new system. And number 3, Gannon calls him a first-time play caller, even though he has called plays before during his time in Washington after Jay Gruden got fired. So, but it is his first time with his system installing plays and calling plays on game day. So there is a little bit of a learning curve there, but he also expanded, quote, I think right now you got to be patient. There's no question Justin Jefferson is going to figure this thing out, but there's things I think you can do to help him. You got to get him some touches early in game. Absolutely agree. Whether it's just screens, whether it's putting him in the backfield, a little dump-off swing passes, just getting him involved early and often just so he gets into the flow. Absolutely. And you got to move him around better in formations, get him in some stack alignments, get him in some bunch sets. Yes, I fully agree there. Getting him off of one-on-one press coverage, putting him in the slot, putting him in motion. That's what worked really well against Green Bay. And the last couple weeks, it seems like they've gotten away from that. Motion him a little bit more to get him off that press coverage. Yes. Yes, fully agree with everything that Rich Gannon was saying here. So, yeah, Rich Gannon, like I said, has got the bona fides. Former Vikings legendary quarterback. Oh, they should have kept him. The Vikings had a Super Bowl MVP on the rooster, and then they just let him go. But Jefferson, he's going to be fine. This is one of those relax moments. Kevin O'Connell's learning on the job. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, everyone's getting acclimated to this new offense. Maybe they should have played a little bit in preseason. I don't know. I don't know, but Jefferson will be quickly back to where he wants to belong, and I'm not sweating it. Not worried about it. I'm a little worried about it as a Jefferson fantasy manager. But your thoughts on our thoughts. Justin Jefferson, Rich Gannon weighing in. Why has he been so quiet the last 2 games? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts and his thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.